A Simple Love Story, Chapter 1, The Race Begins. The night sky was restless. Rain lashed against the city's streets, turning them into mirrored rivers of neon and headlights. Ethan gripped the steering wheel of his motorbike, weaving through the labyrinthine alleys with a reckless speed that should have terrified him. But tonight, he felt invincible. It had started with a bet. A stupid, impulsive bet made in the heat of a crowded club, where laughter was cheap, and challenges were currency. "You'll never beat Mason on the track," someone had taunted. Ethan had scoffed. Mason, the golden boy, the one everyone compared him to, was nothing special. Ethan would prove it. Now, the race was on. He could hear Mason's bike roaring behind him, close enough that he felt the vibration through the rain-slick pavement. The finish line was the old train yard on the city's outskirts, a place where shadows loomed, and stories of accidents whispered through the rusted rails. But Ethan didn't care. He had to win. Chapter 2, The Stranger in the Rain. As Ethan skidded around the last corner, he barely registered the figure standing by the tracks. A girl, shivering under the relentless rain, her hair clinging to her face. In that split second, their eyes met, hers wide with something unreadable. Panic? Hope? Recognition? The moment shattered as Ethan lost control. The world spun. The sound of scraping metal, the explosion of pain. Then, darkness. When he woke, it was in a dimly lit garage, his bike in ruins beside him. His body ached, but it was the girl sitting across from him that caught his attention. She had a quiet intensity, her gaze searching his as if she knew him, though he was certain they had never met. "You shouldn't compare yourself to him," she murmured. "Mason. He has his road. You have yours." Ethan stiffened. "Who are you?" She smiled, a ghost of a memory in the dim light. "Someone who knows that love isn't about competition." Chapter 3, An Unexpected Truth. As Ethan healed, the girl, Sophie, became a constant presence. She never asked for anything, only offered quiet companionship, the kind that settled in the cracks of his guarded heart. And slowly, without realizing, he stopped chasing Mason's shadow, but the past never stays buried. One evening, Mason found them. His expression darkened as he looked between Ethan and Sophie. "You really don't remember, do you?" Mason said, voice tight. Ethan frowned. "Remember what?" Mason exhaled sharply, his gaze flickering to Sophie. She wasn't waiting for a stranger that night. She was waiting for you. The truth hit Ethan like a second crash, this time inside his chest. The years of rivalry, of trying to outrun Mason, had blinded him to what was right in front of him. He had spent so long comparing, chasing, proving, only to realize he had already won the most important race without ever knowing it. And Sophie? She had always known. Epilogue, the finish line. Ethan never raced Mason again. Not because he feared losing, but because he had finally learned his path was never meant to be Mason's. It was his own. And Sophie? She was by his side every step of the way, not as a prize to be won, but as a love freely given, because love, the real kind, was never a competition to begin with.